news. United loses $800 million in value after passenger dragged off plane.
In a situation where we are reminded in the United States just how violent a society we are, a United Airlines passenger was pulled off a plane after refusing to leave even though he had purchased a ticket because United's mistake of overbooking the flight. Passengers recorded an instance where police were dragging him off, slammed his head into his seat, made his face all bloody, and removed him from the plane. This story has been all over just about every news outlet under the sun, but we also wanted to give our opinion on this just because of how terrible the situation is. Philip DeFranco made an excellent video on YouTube about this. Link down below if you want to check that out. And I know that you have a lot of information that you want to include in this video as well, but I just like to say, as people who have flown all over the world on United Airlines, as well as many other airlines internationally, including airlines in Asia, this sort of thing would never, ever happen in South Korea.
No, it really wouldn't, despite the fact that United actually flies to and from South Korea. And I believe we actually flew with United because we had to bring our cat back, Maki. And I think that that was the best airline for the best price to have your pet in plane with you.
I have a credit card that gets United miles that I'm no longer going to be using. And I don't think you and I are ever going to fly United again.
I really don't want to after this situation.
Go over what happened very briefly with this United flight. It was overbooked, the plane was full, and United asked for people to get off the plane in exchange for $400, which nobody agreed to. Then they upped the ante to $800. People still did not want to get off the plane. So then they decided to go onto the computer and choose 4 people randomly. They asked 2 people to be removed. They got up on their own will and left the plane. Then this gentleman, Mr. Dow, or Dr. Dow, I guess his name is, was chosen and did not want to leave, and police were called, police were brought on the plane, police forcibly removed him, and there are several cell phone videos of this instance happening. There's a third video after that where Dow somehow gets back onto the plane, his face is all bloody, and he's saying, "Kill me now, kill me now."
Just kill me, just kill me.
There's a lot of different factors that could be taken into consideration when discussing this. One being that he's a 69-year-old man. He's also a doctor. He did actually, when they were taking him off the plane, bring up the possibility that he was being singled out because he was an Asian American. Or as he said, that he was Chinese. Is this because I'm Chinese? Though technically, from what I found out, he's Vietnamese American and kind of the quintessential ideal immigrant family. They came from Vietnam, he and his wife. They're both doctors. They have 5 kids. 4 out of the 5 kids are also doctors. It's such an upstanding, like, picturesque ideal of what the quote-unquote American dream would be until you have this, him being drug off the plane.
I said earlier that this would never ever happen in Korea, and the main reason is they don't treat paying passengers for any company violently. Like, that would never happen. You would never see police violently do anything like this or behave in this manner when this situation arises, when it's the company's fault. Clearly. There were other people saying that, oh, they should have had the 4 employees that were going to fly in place of these 4 passengers that needed to come off, rent a car and drive to Louisville because it's only 4 hours away. Like, this could only happen in the United States. I don't even see this sort of thing happening in Europe, where someone is violently removed for no reason because of the company's mistake.
There's so many things that should have happened or could have happened that did not happen. In fact, they should have upped the ante. They only offered $800. They're required by law to offer up to $1,350 in compensation to whomever would get off the plane, and they didn't even take that measure.
It's just upsetting to me how violent we are in comparison to the rest of the world. And I don't think Americans realize this. I mean, if you look at the comments, some people are defending the company here when I don't see absolutely any reason why United should be defended at all. In fact, they should be closing their doors.
Well, they did just a couple weeks ago refuse to let a 10-year-old onto a flight because she was wearing leggings. So United is in a lot of hot water lately. Pepsi just recently had their advertising flack like they got thrown under the bus with that. But now it's all about United, and people are kind of pushing Pepsi aside, and they're like, United, the head of United is not helping the situation either.
That's correct, but just to draw on a comparison between Pepsi and United, Pepsi didn't hurt anybody. Okay, there might have been some bad decisions made with advertising, but nobody got hurt. Nobody was bloodied, and no personal cell phone videos sprung up all over Facebook and YouTube about a man getting his head slammed into a seat and then he's bleeding all over the place and dragged off. He didn't do anything wrong.
And the other thing that kind of throws me for a loop is because all of this happened, the entire flight got delayed 3 hours anyways. You're right, stick the freaking people who need to go to the next place on a little tiny private plane, or stick them in a car, make them drive down. Like, there's so many other options. This should never have to happen.
Violence should never become part of the formula for a company's protocol. Step by step, the violence should never be there. The moment that the police are about to get violent is the moment that they should stop and then question again. Since there's already a delay, we need to rework our brain wiring in this country when it comes to how we treat each other. These sorts of things don't happen in homogeneous societies because they see other people that aren't related to them as their own countrymen or as their own people. We don't see each other in the United States as our own people. We see them as other. This is a huge difference between this country, which people say is the best country in the world, or we're the richest country in the world, and other places where they might not be as rich, but they might have more dignity or more integrity for not only their own person, but people that they don't know that are also from that country.
Well, I think that you have to be very careful and cautious saying that we're the best country in the world, because there's a whole lot of people who disagree with that statement. The only people I know who stand by that statement so strongly are basically other American people.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm saying that. I'm saying people say that. Just to clear that up. I mean, to be completely forthcoming, part of the reason why I wanted to travel and live in another country for many years to begin with was for my disgust for some of the things that go on here versus other things that I saw. When I was 16 years old and I went over to Spain, I couldn't believe some of the things that I saw, and it opened my eyes to a new world that I didn't even know existed, and then it made me want to travel more and consequently even live, not just travel, but live over in another country so I could experience what it's like to be surrounded by other people that have absolutely nothing to do with what people think here. And it doesn't just broaden your horizons, it does make you a more well-rounded person. It does make you realize the shortcomings in our country, the shortcomings over there, the positive things about this country, the positive things about other countries. And in the 21st century, we're learning that violence is not the answer. And there was violence that happened on a United plane yesterday that was not the answer. We're sitting here talking about this because of the violence that happened against this man who did nothing wrong. United and every company needs to take a close look at that. The second that the police have to intervene for whatever reason, we need to stop right at the violent part and go, wait a second, is this really the best route? Treating somebody violently? I mean, this guy's 69, he's probably got some brain damage now. I mean, when you bang your head hard, it fucks things up.
There's so many things that should have been done differently, and this, I think, is a good time to actually, for us all to take a step back. And I hope that some policies dealing with airlines in general are going to change and become better, especially when it comes to overbooking and forcing people off of flights, because it's kind of corrupt.
Comments down below, please, your reaction to this. How did you feel when you saw the videos yourself? Because there were at least 3 videos that circled around the web of this man being forcibly removed, and it made me feel awful to possibly be in his situation. Not that I've ever been in that situation before, but I think we can all empathize at least if we've flown on an airplane.
And I think we can all agree that there desperately needs to be something changed within the system if this is how the system is behaving.
Comments down below, you guys. Click the like button. Thank you so much for supporting us here at Hallyu Back. Click the bell for notifications. Check out the link to K-Gal. And don't forget to subscribe for more Hallyu Back news. That's it. We're out of here. Hasta luego.
Bye.